Hello, 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 everybody. It is your unfriendly three-headed conjure woman, Mama Noyela. And tonight we are going to go ahead and start breaking down this series of the 8 stages of spiritual awakening. So let's go ahead and dig into this. So again, what is a spiritual awakening? This is again when you are peeling back layers of yourself to heal yourself for yourself, by yourself, with yourself, to remain self-sufficient. In the process of this spiritual awakening, there are 8 different stages. During those 8 stages, a lot of things tend to happen in your life. Stage 1 is called the breakdown, or this is where you will enter your empty void space. Now, what is the void space? The void space is a realm of evolving possibility. This is where emptiness is an exact form of emptiness. This space here is also seen as black, blue. Sometimes when you close your eyes, you may see how it gets dark. You may also see little orbs, little lights where it looks like constellations and things in your eyes, or as your eyes are closed. This is you allowing yourself to fall deeper into your own personal void space. Now, while you are also in this void space, this is also seen as a place for you to have a complete time out. You done fucked around, you done found out, and now you got to sit your ass down. That's just what it is. This is also a place for a lot of souls to purge themselves of different illusions and delusions. This is also where you have different guides of both light and of darkness as well. You will have people coming to show you positive things and aspects about yourself, just as well as you'll have people coming to show you a lot of negative shit too. It's a two-edged sword. It works both ways. So when we are talking about the void space of nothing and that very first stage, the void is considered your thoughts within. So when you die, you go inside and down and out. When you are in a positive state, you go in and up. When you are in a negative state, you go in and down. So when you are trying to heal things or have a spiritual awakening, you're going to go inside and you're going to go down, because you are now trying to heal and alleviate a lot of these situations and circumstances that you may have left untended to. Now, this is the one thing I need people to understand and remember when it comes to the void space of nothing and something. There is no love in this space. There is no light here. So whatever you are bringing with you is all that you really have. So a lot of the people that sort of live on that energy space of love and light, that's going to be sort of a very, very hard thing to maintain when you are in that space of having your spiritual awakening, especially with this first stage, which is the breakdown. So let's go ahead and get into this very first stage, stage 1. So some of the physical things that you may end up displaying are depression, emptiness, unhappiness. You may start realizing certain truths in your nature, and when you do have that realization, something may actually manifest into your actual reality that will change the perspective of what you thought to be true. You will experience traumatic experiences. This is where you start learning patterns, behaviors, habits, and literally you start picking your own reality apart. In this very first stage, not only do you start noticing patterns, but you discover unknown truths. These unknown truths don't specifically have to pertain to religious constraints. They can be family secrets. They can be things that you've learned about yourself out of the blue, or they can also be things that you have ignored for a very, very long time. And since you refuse to acknowledge any of that, that first stage of your spiritual awakening is you actually slapping yourself in the forehead of, what the fuck am I doing with my life? That would be the very first stage of your spiritual awakening, is realizing that you are not where you thought you should have been. And sometimes having that very first smack in the face is very hard. When you are stuck in this very first stage, it can last anywhere from 3 months to years, especially if you are having that struggle of letting go. The way to survive stage 1 is accepting things as they are, not the way you want them to be. That is the biggest part of allowing things to fall away. That is one of the biggest tools with the art of detachment, is learning that your perception is what you have thrown into your reality. But who you are and how you operate no longer fit in that timeline or in that period. Who you were 5 minutes ago may not even be who you are right now. I can walk in the kitchen and slap the hell out of somebody right now and then come back in here and want to drop to my knees and pray. To somebody else, it was 2 different people. To another person, they're like, no, that was the same person. Perspective is everything. But either way, when you are going through that first stage of your spiritual breakdown, when you are going through that first stage of your awakening, you are going to be in a minute stage of fear and anxiety. It's very much waking up to a place that you have no idea you are in. Or even better, it's like finally coming out of a spiritual glamour. You thought this was a great place. You thought this was good. You thought that was good. But all of a sudden, something may have put a crack in your reality that made you question it. Once you began questioning, that is you now chipping away at your reality, at your knowing, at things that you knew were solidified in cement. Now they have place and space to grow, change, and evolve into something else, whether it be good or bad. It really don't matter at this point, but your original perspective has to start falling away. So stage 1, that breakdown and being in that empty void space of nothing tends to be very challenging. If you are not connected with self, if you do not have a strong connection of who you are without your trauma, this first stage is going to be very hard for you because you've lived on a narrative that no longer fits where you are in your life or in this particular reality. So, being in that empty void space gives you a time out to recreate, to literally sit down and listen to what your higher and your lower self are saying at the same time. You may find out that you like certain things and your other side is like, oh, we like that? We like that? Yes, that's the truth. You might like lying. You might like victimizing yourself. You might like being an enabler. You might like having that dependency and that power of control of having somebody always want to come to you and be around you. You have to come to that breakthrough in that first stage. And that's usually the hardest part for a lot of people, is to have that come to Jesus moment and realize Jesus is not who they thought he was. So, with that being said, that is our introduction to stage 1, the breakdown, and being in your own void space. Be kind to yourself in there. Know that mistakes happen. Perfect imperfections are a thing. You are a perfectly imperfected being. If God is in love with all of his children, stop thinking that you got to choose a favorite. You don't. Just got to choose you right now. That's it. So, with that being said, namaste everybody. But nah, I'm going to stay over here. Holla.